YouTube? Your boy Juggernaut here, and I'm here to review my experience with the Vivo Barefoot shoe. And I'm gonna explain how and why they're different from your typical rigid sports shoe, running shoe, or casual New Balances. So, to explain why barefoot shoes, what is so special about barefoot shoes? So, as humans in society, we strayed so far away from what's natural, starting with being barefoot, being close to earth, being to the ground. Um, when I say that, I'm talking about the muscles in our feet. I feel like over the course of years, centuries, we've neglected the importance of our feet, and we've neglected our muscles in our feet. And to combat any protection to the ground, we said, hey, let's start using cushion shoes that don't move a lot and where your feet stay rigid. So whenever we started doing that, that's when our feet start getting weaker, which leads to ankle pain, which leads to your arches becoming flat, which results in flat-footed people. I'm flat-footed, by the way, which results in knee pain, which results in hip, back pain, etc. So I feel like doctors, especially in sports medicine, especially doctors in general, whenever they see a patient that has feet and ankle pain, they say, hey, just get some insoles or some Dr. Schultz inserts, keep it moving, you'll be on your way. That is so unnatural, and it's creating an artificial lift on your arch so you won't feel pain. So whenever you walk barefoot, let's say on grass, on concrete, you're gonna have trouble. Now let's explain Vivo. So Vivo as a whole, why Vivo Barefoot? So when people think of barefoot shoes, they think of those weird sandals you may see, the gladiator ones, the women ones, the very minimalist shoe. People don't think of shoes that could fit into society right along. Let me take this off. Right along with your typical running shoe, because as humans, we like to look good. You look good, you feel good. To me, most barefoot shoes are ugly, which is why I strayed away from them, which is why I feel many others have strayed away from them. So that's where I find Vivo, as I'm looking for at least half decent barefoot shoes. I look at Vivo, and it's like, okay, they have some style. I mean, just think, if you see me wearing this at work, many people didn't even realize I had barefoot shoes. They just thought I had the next pair of off-brand running shoes. Or if I wear this in a casual setting, going out to eat or going somewhere, workout, people don't think none of it unless you're a Vivo wearer yourself or you're aware of it. So the shoes that I have demonstrated, these are the Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail, and these are the same Primus Trail. They're just a different variation. So when I found these shoes, like I said, you look good, you feel good. Of course, I'm gonna go straight to ordering them. So the experience, I work in a warehouse. I work on concrete floor. So of course, anyone that thinks when they're getting barefoot shoes, oh, I work in concrete, work on hard floors, and my feet won't be able to handle that. Which is false. I proved that theory to myself. Because when I got these shoes, I thought, okay, my feet are gonna hurt, my ankles are gonna hurt, my back is gonna hurt, because it's so hard on that ground, and your feet are on that ground for 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day. So what I did, I wore them to work, and these were the best shoes I've ever worn to work. My feet feel free. I feel non-restricted. My feet can flex as I walk. Because one thing about these shoes, they are not for the weak. You have to adapt to these shoes before you can wear them. That's one of the cons. The con is you have to adapt to these shoes. The reason I adapted a little easier than most is because I worked out barefoot. I trained barefoot. Always in the gym, people looked at me weird because I'll be doing upper body day barefoot. A lot of people haven't practiced being barefoot, so whenever you wore these for 20, 30 years, you're not going to transition to these very easily. So these shoes aren't for the weak. If you're serious about transitioning to barefoot, you have to take the steps before you make that first purchase. And that's what I'm gonna lead on to next, is that price tag. One thing I feel like why a lot of people stray away from these shoes is because the price tag. I feel like people see the price tag and they stray away from it. I mean, who's gonna get an experimental shoe for $200? Like, that's common sense at the end of the day. They're a bit pricey. But what I tell people is, once you start adapting to barefoot, once you start adapting to the earth, the price is worth it. Would you rather pay $200 or would you rather pay a doctor thousands of dollars and get some insoles that you'll keep going back to and taking medication, pain medication, and your Advil, naproxen? Would you rather keep doing that, having knee pain for the rest of your life, or would you rather pay $200, which is big in the small run, but in the long run, it will be well worth it? At least to me. That's how I feel. I feel like these shoes, one, they're already good looking. I mean, come on now. Tell me they're not good looking. I'm gonna show them more of a catalog on the screen. These shoes, the style is amazing. They feel amazing at work, at the gym, when I'm out. I feel non-restricted. Sometimes I walk into the house, I don't even know I have shoes on. I don't even know I have these on. I just walk in. You know, when you walk in, you take your shoes off, you're like, my feet hurt. Now, this is my experience. Keep that in mind. Because I've adapted in certain aspects. I walk around barefoot. I work out barefoot, do leg days, definitely barefoot. So it's gonna be easy. So that's where I say I love these shoes. They're wide, flexible. I walk different. I move different, closer. So to sum it all up, would I recommend these shoes? 20 times out of 10, hell yes. These shoes are non-restrictive, very wide and free, flexible, and they can adapt to any environment. They have different types of shoes available, whether it be mountain ones, whether it be just your casual setting, running, anything feet-wise, they got it for you. The only cons is make sure you adapt and build up to your shoes. At least take 5 to 6 months. People don't want to hear about time, but you gotta build up to these shoes. Depending on how far you've gone to the dark side, you have to build up to these shoes. And another con is that price tag. But I promise you the price is worth it. 20 times out of 10. Please get these shoes. That being said, Juggernaut, signing out.